Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, May 26, 2022. Today I'm going to recap last night's Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals, look ahead to tonight's Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Then we'll look at the Stanley Cup playoff games from yesterday, look ahead to today's games. Major League Baseball, Wnba. If we have a leaderboard, we'll do golf. We'll recap the finale of Survivor. News and notes and best bet. We're going to start the NBA. We'll go over the Eastern Conference Finals Game 5 and look at Western Conference Finals Game 5 as the Celtics come out on top by a score of 93-80 to take a 3-2 series lead. Jaylen Brown, 25 points, and Bam Adebayo had 18 for Miami. Now I look ahead to tonight's game, 9 o'clock on TNT of the Mavs and the Warriors. My projection is Golden State by 5, total of 214 and 19/20. And it is Golden State by 7, total 215.5. I'm going to take Dallas getting the points. I think that Luka and company aren't going to go away easy. I would not be surprised if they won this game outright and forced the Game 6, and they're the Toronto of this round. And giving Golden State some more pressure. So, give me Dallas getting 5. I don't know if they will or won't win the game outright or not or whatever, but I do think that they'll cover 7 for sure. All right, now we'll move on to the Stanley Cup playoffs. We will recap the game from yesterday, look ahead to tonight's action. Blues over Avalanche, 5-4 in overtime on a game winner by Tyler Bozak to stave off elimination and force a Game 6. The number 3 started game with 2 goals, Robert Thomas. Number 2 started game with the overtime winner, Tyler Bozak. And the number 1 started game with a hat trick and an assist, Nathan MacKinnon, whose go-ahead goal in this game was out of this world. It's unfortunate that they had lost the game. 2 games tonight at 7 o'clock on ESPN. You have the Rangers and the Hurricanes. Game 5. The series is all of a sudden a best of 3. So, first 1 to 4 wins usually wins, but in this scenario it's going to be 2 because it's a 2-2 series. Carolina's minus 160, Rangers plus 132, over under 5.5, overs plus 112, unders minus 138, Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 210, Canes minus 1.5 is plus 172. Carolina's back in their comfort, which is home. So, for this game, I'm going to go with the Hurricanes in regulation at plus 105 to take a 3-2 series lead. At 9:30 on ESPN, Oilers-Flames. Flames facing elimination at home. Down 3-1. They're minus 156. Edmonton's plus 130. Over under 7. Overs plus 118. Unders minus 144. Oilers plus 1.5 is minus 178. Flames minus 1.5 is plus 146. I can't go over 7 in a hockey game. That is just too high. For this game, I would go Calgary in regulation at even money. I think that they hold serve on home ice and force a Game 6 for Edmonton trying to win on home ice. So give me Calgary in regulation at even money. All right, now I'm going to go over the Major League Baseball games from yesterday and look ahead to today's games. Pirates over the Rockies, 10-5. Tigers over the Twins, 4-2 and 10. Giants over the Mets, 9-3. Nats over the Dodgers, 1-0. Yankees over the Orioles, 2-0. Brewers over the Padres, 2-1. A's over the Mariners, 4-2. Reds over the Cubs, 4-3. Rays over the Marlins, 5-4. Braves over the Phillies, 8-4. White Sox over the Red Sox, 3-1. Astros over the Guardians, 2-1. And the Rangers over the Angels, 7-2. All right, 12:30, Cubs-Reds from Cincinnati. Justin Steele and Hunter Green. Cincinnati is not favored. Cubs are minus 118. Reds are even money, over under 8.5. Overs minus 114. Others minus 106. Cubs minus 1.5 is plus 138. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 166. Tough one. So, for you to be even money, I think you should be like 47.5% or less to be plus money or more. So, I think getting the Reds at plus money is a steal here. So, I'm going to take the Reds. 6:30 Yankees Rays. Big AL East series very early in the year. Nestor Cortez and Ryan Yarbrough. Yankees are favored minus 126. Rays plus 108. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 105. Others minus 115. Rays minus 1.5 is, or Yankees minus 1.5 is plus 136. Rays plus 1.5 is minus 164. It's amazing that Nestor Cortez gets all this love in the market now for betting. My play here is going to be under 3.5 first half total runs at plus 114. 7 o'clock, Rockies Nationals. Herman Marquez and Patrick Corbin. They're each minus 108, over under 8, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Rockies minus 1.5 is plus 146, Nats plus 1.5 is minus 176. So it's a pick 'em game. I'm going with Colorado at minus 108. Guardians Tigers. Connor Plinkington and Tariq Skubal. Tigers minus 142. Guardians plus 120. Over under 7.5. Minus 10 each way. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 188. Tigers minus 1.5 is plus 155. I'm going with the Guardians. 51.1% chance according to ESPN Analytics. Phillies Braves at 7:20. Aaron Nola and Kyle Wright. Braves minus 112, Phillies minus 104, over under 8, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Phillies minus 1.5 is plus 158, Braves plus 1.5 is minus 192. So, to me, the minus 120 line is 52.5. Because I said 47.5 is the even money line. So, therefore, I'm going with Atlanta at minus 112. 7:30 Royals Twins. Daniel Lynch and Devin Smeltzer. Twins minus 184. Royals plus 154. Over under 8. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 146. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 122. I'm going to go, I don't feel good about it, with the over. 7:45 Brewers Cardinals. Eric Lauer and Adam Wainwright. Cardinals minus 126. Brewers plus 108. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Brewers plus 1.5 is minus 188. Cardinals minus 1.5 is plus 155. Don't feel good about it, but I'm going to go with the under. 8 o'clock Red Sox White Sox. Michael Wacha and Dallas Keuchel. White Sox minus 116. Red Sox minus 102. Over under 9. Minus 110 each way. Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 230. White Sox minus 1.5 is plus 188. I'm going with Boston at minus 102. They are 59.1 according to ESPN Analytics, and they're only minus 102. 9:30 Blue Jays Angels. It's a good series. Hyunjin Ryu and Shohei Ohtani. Angels minus 168. Blue Jays plus 142. Over under 7.5. Minus 110 each way. Blue Jays plus 1.5 is minus 152. Angels minus 1.5 is plus 126. Tough one, but I'm going to go with the over. Hyunjin Ryu's just been terrible this year. So I think that the Angels could do that by themselves. D-backs hosting the Dodgers. Mitch Weiss and Humberto Castellanos. Dodgers minus 180. D-backs plus 152. Over under 9. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 115. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 104. Tough one. But I'm going to go with, I'm just going to go, I don't feel good about it, with the D-backs run line plus 1.5 at minus 104. And the Rangers and the Athletics. Martin Perez and Frankie Montas. A's minus 126, Rangers plus 108, over under 6.5. Overs minus 122, unders even money. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 220. A's minus 1.5 is plus 180. For this game, I don't love the play, but I'm going to go with Oakland minus a half plus 118 first half run line as my pick here. Alrighty, now we'll move on to the WNBA. We'll recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to today's games. Only one game last night, actually. Sparks over to Mercury 99-94. Commissioner's Cup game, so the Sparks hold serve at home to improve to 3-5. Phoenix drops to 2-5. Nneka Ogwumike, 23 points to lead the way for the Sparks, and Skylar Diggins-Smith at 28 for the Mercury. Only one game again tonight, 7 o'clock. You have the Wings and the Sun from Connecticut. Wings 5-2, Sun 4-2. The line here is the Sun by 7.5, totals 159.5. I'm taking Dallas getting the points. They're off to a good start this year. I think that they'll hang around. So, give me Dallas, led by Enrique Ongumbali, Kayla Thornton, and Marina Mabry. So I think Dallas will hang around. Give me them plus the 7.5. I don't think they're going to win necessarily, but I do think that they'll put up a fight here. All right, I do have a very early leaderboard for the Charles Schwab Challenge. A tie for first with one under Doc Redmond and Matthias Schwab. And tied for third all at even, Trey Mullinax, Matthew Neesmith, Sam Ryder, Lucas Hodges, and Tommy Fleetwood. And underway right now, Taylor Moore, Christian Ziedenhout, Sahith Thaglia, Brian Harmon, Cam Triangle, as Ziedenhout just broke even here to go in a tie for fourth. And Taylor Moore is one over. Then you have Joel Dahman, Henry Higgs, Rory Sabatini, Mark Hubbard, Russell Knox, Emiliano Grillo, Garrick Higo, Sanjay M, Nate Lashley, Evan Van Roy, and Ricky Fowler, Ryan Palmer due up within the next several minutes. All right, the Survivor finale was last night. It was a really fun and entertaining finale. A ton of surprises as well. So, the final five: Lindsay, Mike, Marianne, Jonathan, and Romeo. They were taken to a new island to start over with nothing, 0. And the next morning, they each received a word scramble puzzle giving a clue to the location of a secret advantage. And Lindsay ran away with this, solved the puzzle, and found the advantage, which gave her an advantage in the immunity challenge. And then, with the immunity reward challenge, they raced through an obstacle course to 6 separate stations with a bag of puzzle pieces that completed a circular puzzle. And the first to complete the puzzle won immunity, as well as a reward of pasta and garlic bread to be shared with one other person. Lindsay had an advantage, giving her fewer knots to untie, but she lost to Mike by 1 puzzle piece. Mike chose Jonathan to come with him for the reward. And then comes Tribal Council. Mike played his idol for Marianne, who neglected to play her own, and Lindsay was voted out of the first tribal council as her 4 peers all voted her out, and she voted for Jonathan. And then comes the immunity challenge with the 4 of them. With one hand tied to their back, the player had to drop the ball into a metal chute, which travels down a spiral metal track. And then there was a gate in the middle of the track that rotates with every ball, causing the ball to alternate exiting out of the 2 exits. And then the player had to catch the ball and drop it back into the chute at the top. And every couple minutes, an additional ball is added to the track until up to 7 balls are active on the track. And if the ball exits the track and is not caught, the player got eliminated, and the last one remaining won immunity. And winning immunity this round was Romeo, as he outlasted Jonathan. And Mike was eliminated early from this. And then Marianne got eliminated. Then it was Romeo versus Jonathan for a while. And then Romeo came out on top, which was amazing. And then they're in tribal council with the final 4. So he elects Marianne to go with him to the final 3. And then it was Mike versus Jonathan in the fire-making challenge. And Mike came out on top, sending Jonathan to the jury. And then final tribal council. So they all talked about their paths to the end. Mike made his argument about strong social bonding and strong strategic moves. And Marianne talking about her threat level, keeping her options open and being a little okayed. And Romeo talked about how he fought to stay alive from the bottom. And then the jury vote came about. And before that, by the way, Marianne highlighted her secret merge idol at the end. And that, I think, swayed a lot of people to vote for her. And she ran away with the jury votes in favor of 7-1 to win Survivor 42. And only one person voted for Mike to win the competition, and that was Jonathan. As Lindsay, Omer, Drea, High, Tori, Roxroy, and Chanel all voted for Marianne, and Romeo got 0 votes. So it's crazy that Marianne won the competition because Marianne didn't win a individual immunity throughout the whole competition. But Marianne also worked her butt off. She was very open. She made a lot of smart and bold moves, such as using her second vote that she had, which ultimately eliminated Omer. She's just a sweetheart. So I'm happy for Marianne because she really came a long way, I felt, on this show. And she was a big underdog along with Romeo. So I think it was really cool to see those two make it this far. And obviously Mike, who was probably the best player left, was your runner-up. And then Romeo came in third. This did not go how I predicted Obviously, yesterday on the show, I predicted Lindsay to win, Jonathan second, Mike third, Marianne fourth, and Romeo fifth. But I didn't even have any of the right number placements for any of them. Instead, it was Marianne, Mike, Romeo, Jonathan, Lindsay. And I thought for sure Jonathan, Lindsay, and Mike were going to be the final three. And I was surprised that Romeo made the top three. Marianne, not so much. But Marianne really grew on so many people, and she really swayed a ton of people at the final vote, as she got rewarded the $1 million and the title of sole survivor. And then, after the votes were read, the players enjoyed champagne and pizza while discussing the game with Jeff and the Survivor after show, which was pretty cool. And at the end of the show, they showed a preview of Survivor 43, which was really interesting. So, it was a fun season covering Survivor for the first time on the show, and it's a very fun show, of course. So, looking forward to the next season, obviously. All right, news and notes time. There's a couple things that I would like to touch on. So Giancarlo Stanton actually has an ankle inflammation. Although the team said it was a calf strain, so it was a misevaluation. After it was either misreported or misdiagnosed here. So it's a 10-day injury list rather than 15. So Stanton could be back in a week and a half for the Yankees. It's just unfortunate that he's missing this Rays series coming up. Another Yankee to the injured list, Jonathan Loáisiga, with shoulder discomfort. He was not right all season long, which made people think that he was a one-year wonder. But it just turns out that he's hurt. So hopefully he'll be okay. Our first WNBA coach fired, Marianne Stanley, out as the Indiana Fever coach after the 2-7 start, and Carlos Knox will serve as the interim head coach. So that is a surprising move very early in the season for the WNBA. Speaking of injuries, Chris Bryant back on the injured list due to a back injury after being scratched from Monday's game. Tom Wilson will be out 6 to 8 months as he tore his ACL. So that's a big loss for the Capitals. So we won't see Tom Wilson perhaps until like February of next year. Claude Giroux says he could see himself staying with the Panthers after the midseason trade. I think if Giroux has options, I think that Vegas is a potential option for Giroux. I think that maybe even Colorado, who was in play for him at the trade deadline, could be in play. So I think there's going to be a lot of contenders in play for Giroux. But I would not be completely stunned if he stayed with Florida. Colin Kaepernick is scheduled to work out this week for the Raiders. So that is really interesting that somebody's working out Colin Kaepernick. Been a long time. And we'll see. I have strong feelings about Colin Kaepernick. I do not think he was a great quarterback. I felt that he was a system player. And as soon as Jim Harbaugh left, he became a pumpkin. So that was my take on Colin Kaepernick. Maybe he learned a couple tricks. Maybe Josh McDaniels and company find something in this workout. So you never know with these kinds of things. Dak Prescott back to full strength, as he says this is the healthiest he's felt in a long, long time. So hopefully he'll be okay for the season for Dallas. And non-sports news, Texas Governor Greg Abbott held a briefing on the school shooting yesterday. You knew that was coming. And Donald Trump says he will still attend NRA meeting in Texas to deliver an important address. So that should be very interesting. A 72-year-old patient at a New Jersey hospital passes away after falling from a window with a makeshift rope. That's sad. I don't know what hospital it was, but that is very sad. And reality TV star Josh Duggar gets 12 years in child porn case. So, 12 years in jail for Josh Duggar. That's unfortunate. 19 Kids and Counting. I actually watched that show. And I always thought that the mom, Michelle, did a good job with raising the kids and being on the show. But this Josh obviously made a big mistake and he has to pay for it. So that's it for the news and notes for today. And last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. There's a couple that I really like, actually, in baseball. There's some short favorites and short dogs that I really, really like. And there's a lot of home favorites I like in hockey, too. But I'm going to baseball. And I'm going to go with the Boston Red Sox at minus 104. Do I feel good about it? No. But they should be favored in this spot. And Dallas Keuchel isn't the Dallas Keuchel vote. So give me Boston minus 104 to knock off Chicago for my best bet of the day. So that's it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and looking ahead to everything for tomorrow and the rest of the weekend. So should be a better show and longer show tomorrow since it's the Friday show, because you throw in NASCAR and Major League Soccer into it, and we'll have more golf stuff. So hope you guys have a great day, everyone.